Gabba Gabba, hey drunken cock fans, this is Hickory the Drunken Underwhelming from the Drunken Under Quarantine Show, and we're here to announce that you have found and stumbled upon our show. We're very happy to have you. If you found this on podcast platforms, you will be sorely disappointed in the magic entertainment. However, the video will be uploaded to YouTube and Facebook. Remember, this show is an adult show, contains adult content. Have fun, stay safe, stay drunk, stay underwhelming. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. We are on episode 10 of the Drunken Under Quarantine Show. Tonight, we got paired the overwhelmingly Smokey, my official arch nemesis, because every hero needs one. And we got a lot to talk about. So let's...
Show me your tits. This is a weird show.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Drunken Under Quarantine Show. This is episode 10. We are, of course, presented by the Woolen Comedy Club, and I have, of course, your loyal host, Hickory the Drunken Underwhelming. I'm here with Collen, Doyle, and GW. Tonight, we got Pair Courtney on the couch. She is the overwhelmingly Smokey. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to catch up with him, see how Corona time's been treating him as a small business owner, and also as just an awesome dude. We're going to talk about an Olympian getting banned for breaking the rules. We're going to talk about illegal fireworks blowing up a bomb squad truck. We're going to talk about a tragedy that happened over in Iraq. And finally, we're going to talk about the Gulf because, you know, there's some stuff going on down there. But without further ado, welcoming to our spotlight stage, please welcome Mr. GW Foley.
Yes! What is up, motherfuckers? It is Wednesday night!
Woo.
8 o'clock, 8:02 to be exactly, but who's counting? I am, because that's what I do. I do things like that because I am that awesome. What a week. What a crazy, crazy week, and it's only Wednesday. I went to a barbecue this weekend, which is weird for me because I don't leave the house much. And it was fun. It was a good time. And it was a punk rock barbecue. So I wore my finest Ramones t-shirt and decided to hang out with my punk rock friends, which if you don't have punk rock friends, you need to get some because it's a good time all around. Excuse me. Got gas. I'm already one drink in, so bear with me, guys. I'm looking to get shit-faced tonight.
Cheers.
But funny thing happened at the barbecue. I think it's funny. One guy works at a granola store and like one of the food co-ops where everything is expensive and kale is the main diet of everyone who shops there. And he was talking about how everyone dresses exactly the same that goes in the store. Talking about the Patagonia jackets, the LL Bean, and that whole look. And as he's telling the story, I decided to look around the group, and we were all dressed exactly the same. I was just like, what's the difference? Like, I don't get it. Like, you can't make fun of a group for dressing exactly alike when you're part of a group that dresses exactly alike. Like, everyone talks about, like, punk rock being individual and non-conforming. There is so much conforming when it comes to fucking punk rock. Like, all of us had tattoos. The majority of us had piercings. And we all had black horn-rimmed glasses. Like, if anything, like, we looked like a fucking copy of a bad screamo band. Sorry, I got gas. The other fun thing that happened to me this week is I had a buddy drop me off a bottle of rum. Yes, what a great guy. I I wasn't expecting it, and he sent me a text message, and I was like, "Sweet, I don't have to buy booze this week," because I was worried. Like, this is my original bottle, and I was like, "I'm getting kind of low. This is not good." But now I don't have to go to the grocery store and have shame. Like, that's the worst part. Like, I hate the fact that, like, you can't just put a bottle of booze in your cart and shop for everything else. You have to go and specifically buy booze and carry around in a brown bag as you do the rest of your shopping. Like, Vermont is fucked up that way. Like, everyone talks about legal weed stores in Vermont, and I am scared shitless to do that because they're all going to be run exactly the same way we run our fucking liquor in Vermont, which is it's owned by the state. You only lease alcohol. You don't actually purchase it, so you can't change the prices, and everything is going to be fucking shitty because we're not going to get the good stuff. And like they want to crack down on the black market of marijuana, which I get. I understand. It's terrible. I hate the black market. If anything, I hate dealing with drug dealers. I don't want to listen to your shitty Fish cover band. Not that I'm shitting on Fish, but when you have people who try to replicate a 30-minute fucking guitar solo in the middle of their fucking bedroom with a fucking PV amp, like you just no that PV Rage was not designed for you noodling for 20 minutes to sounding like Inagata Devita. I'm sorry. What else this week? I got booked for a show in New York City.
Woo,
yes.
woo.
I am excited beyond all belief. I'm taking the train down, which is nerve-wracking because the last time I rode on a train, I got fucking motion sick. So I'm really worried about this time around. Of course, the last time I was on a train, I was babysitting a bunch of kids, and we were doing a scenic train ride, which never go on a scenic train ride. Go one that's going to be fast and gets to your destination in a timely manner. Don't take the one that goes through the hills of Vermont where it's like, oh, this is fun. I'm going to sit here and look at the trees pass me by, because you don't want to do that. Between that and the smell of the exhaust, I felt like relching, so bad on the I wanted to grab one of the kids who had a sweatshirt and just puke in his fucking hood. Be like, there, take that. Fucking little brats. That is why I don't babysit anymore. Also, it's weird because every time someone sees me with kids, they think I'm kidnapping them, which is totally terrible. You never want to look like you're kidnapping kids because you just get a lot of questions that you don't have answers to. Like, where are their parents? I don't know. Somewhere, I guess. Think about it. If I knew where this kid's parents were, why the fuck do you think that kid's with me? Chances are, I don't know. And maybe I'm going to meet up with him later, maybe not. But if I don't, this kid is now my responsibility. Or he's going to end up in the creek in a fucking cement bag. Yeah. But let's throw the kid in a creek. Why not? See if he can swim. And that is why I don't have kids. That right there. On that note, let me turn it over to Collen and see how his week's doing.
Woo. Yay! How you guys doing?
Good.
Can you hear me all right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying the headset out. I'm all 21st century here. So Yeah, I had a nice 4th of July. I ended up spending it in Chicago. It was my first time to the Windy City. Fun fact, it has nothing to do with the city wind at all. It has to do with the politicians out there. That they were all full of shit. Whoever knew that. It's like that type of thing when you like learn something in the city and then everyone's like, yeah, we all knew that. I was like, no, I always thought it was windy. It's on the lake, When I grew up, that's what I thought. It was a windy city. One time I went to San Francisco in June and I packed like I was going to Miami. I had linen shorts and shirt and everything. I got out there. It was freezing cold. And I go, this is ridiculous. In the middle of summer in California, it's freezing cold. And everyone starts saying to me, well, Hemingway had a quote. He said, the coldest winter of my life was the summer I spent in San Francisco. You ever heard that? No, I never fucking heard that. I dress like I'm going to Key West. Does it look like I'm dressed for the coldest winter of my life? I'm from Vermont. That would be like negative 40 degrees for a month. Oh, my God. Yeah, Chicago was nice. I saw the what used to be called the Sears Tower. Incredibly tall. It's 1,450 feet structural with a 300-foot antenna. In New York, One World Trade doesn't have an antenna. They call it a spire, which makes it that nice 1776, real Bush logic architecture on that. How tall do we want that? 1776. Let freedom ring, baby. So, that's now the tallest building in America. Coincidentally. Imagine if we were built in like the formed in like the 2000s. It would have been taller, wouldn't it? But it was weird because the Chicago Tower was the tallest tower in America for quite some time. And I went on an architecture tour and they're explaining this to me and they said the way that they came up with this unique style of multi-layered building was that a group of guys got together and they realized if you took a pack of cigarettes and you stacked the cigarettes on top of each other, you would end up with a very long cigarette, but it would be unstable. But if you took the cigarette box and you kind of pushed the various cigarettes up, you could end up with a structure higher than the cigarette cart box itself. And if you ever wonder how subpar or mediocre the white men that built America truly were. They came up with the tallest building in America with a cigarette box. Some real brilliant engineering. You know what the Empire State Building was built off of? A pencil. I mean, the guy came in, he said, I want the tallest structure that it can be without it breaking. And the guy said, I don't know, a pencil's pretty sturdy. It's like, what's the Chrysler building? We actually used a mop, believe it or not. Yeah, the whole building was inspired by a mop. It's Euro Cup right now. A lot of people are watching soccer. I'd say probably the most famous soccer player is David Beckham, right? He was a really good soccer player. Very good looking, made a fortune modeling, probably could have made more money acting. But have you ever heard David Beckham talk?
No.
There's a reason for that. The second David Beckham opened his mouth, it's just, there goes the sex appeal. He just basically goes like, it'd be like someone's like doing a narration. It's like, David Beckham. And then it gets like David Beckham opens his mouth and goes, hi, I'm David Beckham. How are you? Yeah, David Beckham. Got incredibly obnoxious voice, David Beckham. God doesn't give with two hands. I think that's really what it shows. He's talented, he's good looking. Ended up sounding like a fucking idiot every time he opens his mouth. If I was David Beckham and I had all that money, I would like get someone. I'd be like, yeah. What I want to do is say, Jason Statham, right? That's all I say. Jason Statham. All he had to do, if David Beckham could just Well, learn to talk like this. Well, I'm David Beckham. He'd make like billions of dollars. Well, instead he talks like this. I made a controversial post on Facebook. I said if you're gonna say this 4th of July that you're a patriot, a diehard patriot for this country, then I'm assuming you're vaccinated, right? Because that's like the one thing the president's like, I need you to do this by this date. You know, we didn't have a draft. We didn't like have to do like any like crazy shit. People are like, oh, my body, my choice. It's like, yeah, but that's not how the draft works, is it? Like, when this country's like, hey, boys, you're shipping off, you don't really have much to say about that, you know? And I don't think anybody likes it, but it is one of the few times in my life that I feel like the country's actually specifically asked something of me that was a really tangible thing for me to do. I never joined the armed services or anything like that, you know? So it's funny to me that people are like, I'll die for this country. I'll fight for this country. Would you get a vaccination? Fuck no. No, that's where I draw the line. If there's no killing other people involved, I can't do it. It just doesn't seem as free. Like these guys are like willing to get shot in the face. Hey, that's my fucking choice, isn't it? It's like, just get a vaccine. You're gonna feel like shit for like 24 hours, but then you're probably gonna build an immunity. Fuck no, can't do it. Can't do it. Let freedom ring. Let freedom ring. And I'm like, don't tell me that you're like so quick to defend this country. I have people being like, if you're anti-gun, you can't celebrate the 4th of July because you wouldn't have defended this country. You wouldn't have gone to war for this country. Perhaps the reason we celebrate the 4th of July has been lost on some people. We don't celebrate the 4th of July because necessarily we won a war. We won it because we didn't have to fucking continue to war and to have more people die. The brilliance was in the writing. That's the preamble, and that's the Declaration of Independence. It becomes necessary for one nation to dissolve the political connection with another. That's not, it becomes necessary for us to kill everybody. That's not what we're celebrating. So to bring guns into the 4th of July, I think is kind of an interesting thing because really it's like the pen is mightier than the sword. When the British rolled into Manhattan, they came in with 2,000 boats. We didn't have 2,000 boats. They had this thing called the British Royal Fleet that they were rolling around. It was a little difficult to beat. I think that it's an interesting time. I think it's an interesting time to say, what is a patriot? What is it to like the Kennedy quote, you know, that's not what the country can do for you, but what you can do for the country. And you know, sometimes that is sacrifices, you know, along the way. I just want to just throw out the realization recently. What a fall from grace Giuliani has had. I'm going to say this is almost like the largest fall from grace probably ever. Like this guy, like 3 years ago, if you asked anyone in this country, they were like, Giuliani, he saved New York. He cleaned up those streets. God bless Giuliani. And then for some reason, he crawls out from whatever rat hole he was living in and was like, I'm not done yet. It's just like, no, just be done. Just be done. Live in the beauty of yesteryear where someone says you were a DA and the mayor of New York and you had a respectable career and stuff. But then he becomes like an attorney. I'm going to be Donald Trump's attorney. You know what I'm going to do? I am going to represent probably the most crooked man that we've seen in a long fucking time and see what type of money I make from that. Well, it was sound logic if you think about it from one angle. This could be never-ending legal fees, right, that just go on indefinitely. Or someone throws you under the bus. I don't know. It goes one way or the other. There are a lot of things that, you know, today I just look at, like, and people think, you know, there's a lot of feeling like we're not getting far enough, soon enough, or quick enough. And I feel that, you know, but we've come a long way. I mean, just think about it. there's no way that John Voight could ever be cast in Anaconda today. Not in whatever role that was. I have no idea what he was doing. I'm going to assume he was supposed to be Brazilian. Yeah, John Voight. He looks Brazilian. John Voight is whiter than Colonel Sanders. I mean, like, what he goes, I'm actually I was eighth Latino. I'm like, oh yeah, can I hear your Brazilian dialect? He's like, when we go into the Amazon, we may not return. I'd buy it. It's like what? Jennifer Lopez is sitting there going, work on those back vowels, John. It's amazing to me how much all this advertising happens. You know, this Spotify or the specific ads. Just the other day, I was having a conversation about ADHD, and then the next thing I know, I'm getting an advertisement for a new drug for ADHD on my Facebook. And which is creative, but unfortunately I don't think they realize that us ADHD crowd, we just keep strolling, we're on to the next thing. That's nice. Oh wow, Usher's doing a new tour. That sounds like fun. But it's been a great week. Happy 4th of July. Happy 245th birthday, America. Drilling in on the big 250. And at this point, I'd like to kick it over to the reason why we come here every week. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Hickory, the Drunken on the Wall.
Good evening, gents. Thank you for joining me. I wore the red and blue. I don't have a white vest, but I figured I'm pasty enough that it's kind of a red, white, and blue thing, right? That was what I was going with. I figured I'd break out some white napkins, because everybody used some of these at their barbecue, and I'm going to show everybody out there how to do a piece of magic. Now, this is generally frowned upon in the magic community, but I'm drunk, so I don't give a shit. But what we're going to do is we're going to have 2 napkins. One of these is going to be a secret. You're going to ball that fucker up real good. And you're going to hold it kind of awkward like this. And that's what us magicians like to refer to as palm. Okay. So once you have it in palm, you're going to take out your napkin, right? And you're going to display that it's whole. And then you're going to go right into tearing this bad boy up. And this is an old magic trope called the torn and restored, whatever the hell you want to tear and restore. Some magicians will use a card. Some magicians will use a newspaper, but I find that the news is so depressing these days. And so what we've got is this torn up one, and you've got this other one over here in palm, right? And so basically what you're going to do is you're going to take this here one and place it over here. And at that point, you're going to go down and reach for your magic wand. And while you're doing that, you're going to, unbeknownst to the audience, you're going to do what us magicians like to call a switch. Right, and you're going to switch out the torn one for the one that you had preloaded, and you're going to take out your wand or a Sharpie or I don't know, Mr. Potato Head with the dick on it that's packed because I'm moving soon. But and you're going to tap it, and you're going to show your audience that you have magically restored napkin, which even looks pretty cool when you know what's going on. And the question I get a lot is, Hickory, well, what do you do if you get caught? And I'm like, well, you're not a magician, so just don't get caught. What Hickory would do is he'd take his wand back out and he would smack those pieces that were in his hands, and magically restore that napkin. And that way, if he got called out, it just wasn't that big a deal. But what I'll do for the second part is I'll crumple that up. And I'm going to put it inside a glass to make sure that it's nice and safe. And I figured I would show you a little piece of coin magic, and this is not something that I do regularly, but I truly enjoy it. It's what got me interested in magic to begin with, is because there's a million things that you can do with cards, but really there's only like 5 or 6 things that I can think off the top of my head that you can do with a coin. But you can do some really cool shit like that, right? If you just kind of, and it vanishes, and if you reach up like that, you can make it reappear. But what's even cooler is if you were to be able to do a little piece of magic that a lot of magicians like to call coin through glass, right? Right, where you could take this and kind of smack it through like that. And obviously you couldn't see that happen because what actually happened was coin through glass and napkin. And what we have, I'll put that back there, is inside the napkin. Coin. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I got for this evening. I figured that was a fun little piece. And moving right along to the main event of the show. I joked earlier calling him my arch nemesis, but I think if Hickory the Drunken Underwhelming ever gets a comic book, this man is definitely going to be cast. A man of many, many talents, a man who owns a smoked fish company that produces some awesome smoked fish in the middle of a landlocked state, which many of you will ask, how the fuck does that happen? But welcoming to our spotlight stage, please welcome Pear Courtney, the overwhelmingly Smokey. Welcome, Pear.
How you doing?
Good. Welcome to the show.
So, thank you. It's nice to be here. Yeah, so we've been acquainted for, I don't know, not a whole long time, but a decent amount of time, and enjoyed chuckling with you on occasion. And so my life to ending up in Vermont smoking fish started in Massachusetts, catching lobsters as a kid, and with my dad. My dad was a lobsterman. After he had enough being a stockbroker, he went back to being a lobsterman again, and I worked with him, which was not my favorite thing in the world. I said I will never deal with seafood for a business ever. So right now I've run a smoked seafood business for 11 years. But in between, I was a custom furniture maker, cabinet maker. Always loved to cook though. And during that stretch, on and off, about 24 years, I worked in Puerto Rico, little island off the East Coast called Vieques, which was a lot of fun. Did a lot of diving and stuff, but mostly did a lot of woodwork down there. And on my last trip there, it was just, I'd had it. I was totally done with woodworking. It destroyed my body, and customers obviously really appreciate it when you destroy your body for them. Right. And they're like, can you do it a little cheaper then? And so I finally had it, and I came back to Vermont. I flew back to Vermont. I got hit by Hurricane Irene, I think it was 10 years ago, in Puerto Rico. Flew home and got hit by Hurricane Irene again when I landed. And I'm definitely going to stop woodworking. And so I said, what do I know? And I know fish, and I know, I know seafood, I know cooking, I love smoking stuff. And I'm like, what does Vermont need? And I thought, Vermont needs good smoked fish. So I started working on these recipes back then. And at the same time, I had morphed my woodworking business into custom guitars, which was a blast. I've been a musician for decades, and I love it. And I love instruments. And I thought one day, hey, I'm going to try to build a guitar. And about 8 hours later, I was playing it. And I'm like, well, this is pretty crappy, but I bet I can build better ones. And I did that for up until I built my last custom about a year ago. And I still do it. I do a lot of restoration work, but that wasn't going to be a living. So I just started the fish thing, and it's really cool. I've had a blast doing it. And it is weird to be in a landlocked state dealing with fish. And my most asked question is, do you catch them all here?
Ah!
Yep, the lobsters come out of Memphremagog. The scallops are out of Willoughby, and it's constant. It happened yesterday. I had 4 people walk in, and they're like, "Can we buy any of your stuff?" I said, "Sure." Well, which lake did you catch it in? And I'm like, the Atlantic Lake. So it's like, how do you have time to catch all the fish and then smoke it? And it's an ongoing story that it will never ever end. I mean, I had a CSA call me from down somewhere in the southern part of the state asking where I was catching it, and it's like, boy, these are like 2 different businesses, and I just sort of go for the ride with them and eventually convince them it flies here in a big airplane. And then it comes here in a big truck, and then I smoke it. So it's a lot of fun. I love doing it. I meet a really cool bunch of people in the business. I really like it. My favorite part is visiting all of my stores with the magic guy here included very much. And yeah, it's fun, and it's what I do. So, and I still play music, and I wanted to play something tonight, but my hand's sort of wrecked right now, and I can't play, unfortunately.
Oh.
That's me at the moment, and thanks for having me on.
Hey, thanks for being here, Pear, and here comes the jar. Pear, thank you so much for joining us, sir. We do appreciate you being here. And it's cool to see you on a screen and not just in person. And yeah, Pear is one of my favorite parts about my Muggle life, to be honest. I love when he drops by. And yeah, we got a couple comments from earlier on that we will address real quick. Nick said, I'll paraphrase for him to the context. You went to a 4th of July barbecue, so you had pants on, GW?
Absolutely not. I technically I had shorts on.
Okay, fair enough. Nick Water says the elusive Collen. Jason said the chicken hoarder is on. But Jason left a good one here. He said Collen looks like he's going to a hardcore gym. Jason said, I like the picture above Pear's head. Oh, yeah, that's a cool picture.
It's actually called a peep show.
Oh, that's funny.
My type of show.
So we'll get right into the talk show questions. First off, Pear, I've heard this and I wanted a confirmation. I heard the hardest part about smoking fish is getting it lit. Is that true?
That's the question. After which lake do you catch them in?
I've used a blowtorch personally. That's the only way you're ever gonna get it going. But no, seriously. Yeah, you drop it on a skillet. Pear, how has Corona time treated you? Both professionally, personally, how has it been living through COVID-19 as a small business owner?
You know, it was I spotted it in the business I'm in. I spotted it pretty soon that something weird was happening because supplies dried up.
Yep.
Way before people caught on something was about to really happen. So I sort of hoarded fish, and I worked at it, and all of a sudden, my last drive down through the state, I drove 3.5 hours and passed 4 cars. And I'm like, holy crap. I'm an idiot. I'm still out. And then my orders dried up the next week completely. And I shut down for 7 weeks with no idea if I'd ever open again. And after 7 weeks, the phone started ringing, and it's gone crazy for me. But it was a real challenge to think about something you'd invested everything in your life into, and suddenly think, I don't know if this is going to. It was like right at the sort of explosion stage 10 years in, and that seemed like it was over.
Yeah, it must be terrifying.
It was pretty creepy. And a piece of it is, for whatever way, shape, or form it happened, at that stage, I'd been living alone for 2.5 years on my own. And it was a neat way to learn how to live with yourself.
Yeah.
It's the best way to put it. And, my dog and my cat really got tired of listening to me. But we're now much closer.
At least they had some great jams to listen to, I'm sure. Was that something you focused time into during the meantime in your downtime? Did you play a lot of guitar and just have fun? Or
it was huge. I've played guitar more in the last 2 years than I've played in the previous 20.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been great. That part of it was great, and luckily I had set up with a whole bunch of looping stuff. And as I said to you the other night, the band never shows up drunk, and it's really cool.
It's the opposite of the show, where everybody shows up drunk, but we still have a great time. So, and as I've said, this show, I mean, as weird as it is to thank COVID-19 for creating something, this show wouldn't exist without it. We never would have figured it out and made it work and polished up the turd that we call the Drunken Under Quarantine show.
It's a shiny turd.
Oh yeah, spit shined, like some hubcaps in the city, But I'm very impressed, and your ingenuity pair, always coming out with new products, always working on development. You want to name what's your favorite that you produce? I guess would be my final question of the segment. Is if you I know it's like naming a favorite baby, or or like picking your favorite family member, but if you had to pick one product that you are the most proud of, what would it be?
It's kind of embarrassing because it's not made out of fish. It's my smoked garlic dip.
Oh, and it's so good. I honestly had thought about it and I totally forgot because of the holiday weekend and being so crazy. I almost got a container for Collen and G-Dubs because I thought it would be really funny if during this segment both of them just pulled one out and just started munching live on the show. And it's just like, oh yeah, don't forget.
I thought it would have been better if they started that and they went, what is this?
Or I could get some of the smoked lobster dip and have a seizure.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Jason said, shows more polished than Reggie B's shows. Thank you, Jason. We appreciate that. And don't forget to send your hate mail to ReggieB@gmail.com.
The Reggie Britton at gmail.com.
Yeah, he will accept it all.
Please send your hate mail.
We'll explain that to Pear later. Sorry, we go off on tangents like that once in a while, Pear. But we will move right into the first subject of the night. This one touched my heart a little. How the drunk is this news? Olympian banned for the Olympics for smoking weed. Dude, I can't believe this shit is still happening. But here it is. Sprinter Hickory. Okay. I'm awful with name pronunciation. And once you put an apostrophe in there, I'm lucky I can pronounce Pear's name, which technically has what's it called, by the way, Pear? The dots?
Umlaut.
And Uma?
Umlaut.
Yeah, see, I can't even pronounce the name of the dots. It's that bad. But sprinter Sha'Carri Richardson tests positive for marijuana, set to miss the Olympics 100-meter event. And she is, I'm pretty sure she's like the top of her field. The key facts, according to Reuters, Richardson's sample tested positive at the U.S. Olympic trials in Oregon last month, where she won the women's 100-meter race with a time of 10.86 seconds. Richardson appeared to acknowledge the test in a cryptic tweet that read, "I am human," before before appearing on NBC's Today Show on Friday morning, saying, "I just want to take responsibility for my actions." USA Track and Field has informed others who competed in the trials about Richardson's failed drug test, and everyone has been moved up a spot in the final standings. Richardson's suspension means that Jenna Prandini, who placed fourth at the trials, will now be one of the 3 American women participating in the 100 meters race. The use of marijuana is banned in competition by the World Anti-Doping Organization, also known as WADA, which means between 11:59
WADA don't make me wop.
on the day before the competition and its conclusion. USADA, which is a WADA signatory, considers marijuana both a performance-enhancing substance and a drug of abuse.
I have to go with Robin Williams on this one, live on Broadway, when they did the same thing to the snowboarder. And he said, marijuana may enhance many things, right? Colors, tastes, sounds, but it certainly is not a fucking performance enhancement drug. You know what I mean? It's like the only way that one would be, enhance someone's performance is if there's a big Snickers bar at the end of the fucking racetrack. Okay, this woman right here is the fastest woman on earth right now. She's the fastest woman on earth, and they are not letting her compete because she smoked weed. If you're smoking weed and you're fastest fucking person on earth, they should be lucky you're smoking weed. They should be lucky. Let her smoke fucking Marlboro Reds. Let her smoke whatever the fuck she wants, okay? Because she's the fastest goddamn person on earth. And don't be worried about what she's smoking. Maybe you should be worried about fucking running a little faster because she's going to kick your ass. That's what's going on right now. Michael Phelps, they bitched at him. He took a bong hit. Ooh, Michael Phelps took a bong hit. He's only got 11 fucking gold medals.
And that was the worst part is he didn't even pop on a positive test. He literally they dug up an old picture of him with a bong.
Oh, after you've won more gold medals, Olympic gold medals, than any person in the history of this fucking planet, shouldn't you be able to take a bong hit? Call me radical. Call me fucking radical. But if you want to take a bong hit, you continue to kick everybody's ass on earth. Hats off to you. You deserve a gold medal.
I mean, honestly, I think the 100-meter race would be more exciting if everyone took a bong hit before they ran.
Yeah,
absolutely.
like it should be mandatory.
Yeah.
And we know who's going to win, don't we? Happens to be the fastest woman on earth who enjoys smoking weed occasionally. Hold on to your ass. You've already lost. Don't even show up.
Jason said weed doesn't give anyone an advantage. It's just the munchies. I was going to say, if you're a competitive eater, I think it's a performance-enhancing drug. But I don't know. He also said, no, send the hate mail to Jason P. Mercier. So find Jason P. Mercier, send him any hate mail for the show. He'll review it, forward it to us if it matters, which it doesn't. Pear, what do you think about this, man? You think it's time to revise the rules?
Oh, it's a weird one because the only way it enhances performance, it just makes it probably more fun.
That's a good point. I would have a hard time running without enhancing the experience, I suppose.
Well, exactly. Who the hell wants to run?
That would be frustrating. You're out there, you're running, you're miserable. You look over at her, she's like, this is great. And the sun's out today. Isn't this wonderful?
That was sort of my point.
Like when I go up there, man, they're gonna play Fish's interpretation of the national anthem.
Before the race, she's like, got the headphones in, ready to go.
Like talons.
To be fair, I think there should be a level of, it's like Mark McGuire. Was he on every drug known to man? Yes. Was he able to check a baseball bat and have it snap if he wanted to stop mid-swing? Yes. So you can't have your cake and eat it too. You know what I mean? I want to see some people break the laws of human ability. Drugs may be a part of it. Hate to tell you.
See, I'm the opposite of most people on this one, and I think to really even the playing field is we should just not test for anything.
Absolutely.
And we should have our Olympic athletes out there all look like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Absolutely.
Even the ladies. Like I think if you don't have traps up to your ears, you don't qualify.
Sure.
And
Some type of horse trunk or something like that.
yeah,
That
that's
would
exactly.
give me weird borners when I watch the gymnastics.
Oh man, think about women's volleyball, but when they spike it, it goes like a foot into the sand. Yeah, that's what I want to see.
Well, that's when you get extra scoring. The deeper it goes, the more points you get.
We have a graded system for the volleyball depth.
It's like a hammer throw.
Logan commented and he said, thank you for watching, by the way, Logan. It's good to see you here. Let me just say, weed is not a performance-enhancing drug at all. I definitely don't think it helps. Other competitors should not be mad or complaining. Let her smoke. That shit's fucking ridiculous. Shake my hand.
Wouldn't it be funny if like she was like high as shit running and in her head she's hearing like the chariots of that song, like Chariots of God, the Gods or something? Bum, 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 bum. Yeah.
She closed her eyes and it's just Slash up there like wailing out a solo with his top hat on.
That would be me. Like I would be actually running slow motion. Like they would already be substantially farther than me, and I'd just be like, dun 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 dun. Telling you right now, if Nike sees this is a commercial.
Instead of the Chariots of Fire song, I think it would be more like the Benny Hill theme for me.
Mine would be like in Family Guy when the trombone player's following the fat guy around and it's just like burr, 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 lurder, burr, burr, lurder, burr. Logan said Collen's take was spot on, perfect. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Oh,
So,
Logan,
yeah,
you're late. I missed your pep talk during my intro. I'm like, oh, I'm fucking out. Logan's not commenting on how great I am. What the fuck, Logan?
I mean, it's not a scoreboard, GW, but I think this week you're losing.
Perry, you got anything else on that before we move into the next one?
I think I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. I figured we should start off with a smoking topic since you're the king of the overwhelmingly smoky. The next one is a hot topic. Are illegal fireworks more dangerous after they're confiscated? Now, while we're on the subject of things that are illegal or naughty per se, I figure we move right into this one. A LA explosion video shows an LAPD bomb squad truck completely blown apart. Now, what had happened is I actually read this, I think this was like the Thursday morning of last week. And it says 6 days ago, so that would make sense. But basically, they had confiscated 5,000 pounds of illegal fireworks in LA and put them in a bomb squad truck, and they accidentally went off and blew this truck right the fuck apart. And luckily, due to the beautifulness of cell phones, we actually have video that we can share of this. So it's going to cut back and then it's going to do it in slow motion because obviously a reaction when an explosion like that happens is
Happy 4th of July.
right here. This might be the best 4th of July display of the year.
Now I understand why 17 people were injured.
Exactly. I didn't think it was that big a deal until I watched the video and I'm like, holy shit, this was a bomb went off in a bomb squad truck, which raised the question, why are we taking away the fireworks? They would have been far less dangerous in the hands of the civilianry. Am I wrong? What do you guys think?
I think it was a horrible idea, and if people are dumb enough to let off fireworks, I think we should let them keep them.
Well, you know that this cop was like some guy who's like, his name was like Slash or something like that. And he'd been like going around taking people's fireworks all day. And like the last stop he made, he loaded them up and decided to have a cigarette, you know? And he's just like, yeah, that does it, boys. We got all the fireworks in West Hollywood. Let's roll out. And he just like flicked the cigarette into the back of it and exploded.
Yeah, and for me, it was just the image was great because it reminded me of occasionally my smokers do that. And I was like, oh shit, there goes a ton of really good fish.
Yeah, 5,000 pounds of fireworks right
So
there.
you're saying this is just an occupational hazard right here, you know? You got fish, you got fireworks. It might explode. It could happen. You never know.
In the
I didn't know
comments,
fish were that explosive.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it depends on how oily it is, man. You get a good oily fish, and they'll fire right up.
You got it.
That sounds like an ex-girlfriend.
The oily fish. Comment from the last subject, but I figured I'd read it because this is a heartfelt one. Manasa comments in, and I apologize if I pronounce your name wrong because I'm awful with names. Honestly, feel like they were snooping for reasons to throw her out. She's a queer black woman with orange hair with a bomb personality. White bread America was not on board to begin with. Maybe, I don't know. I was all for it. She's the fastest chick on the planet. Like, who cares about drugs? Let's run the best of the best, right?
Yeah. No, but I think it's like if this was a white girl named Tiffany, right, who went to Harvard, like you wouldn't even have read about it. You know what I mean? And they would have been like, well, it's pretty much legal, right? We all know weed's legal, and she made a mistake.
Which makes sense to me, but they went after Michael Phelps, and he's like the whitest dude I've ever seen in my life.
That's true. Michael Phelps is the whitest dude I've seen in my life.
He lives in water.
He lives in water. He's practically a dolphin, okay?
Yeah.
Nick corrected and said Collen wins just for showing up.
Oh.
Brutal. Jake Cogswell comments in and says smoked calamari dip is scrumptious pear.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, it's a good one. I like that one. Bacon of the sea. Logan said, I know, GW, my bad. I got you next week.
Good.
And Jason said that explosion, that looks like one of my farts. Which means we might suggest that you go see medical advice.
Dude, I had that happen to me the other day, and I had to change my underwear.
But yeah, I would like to say I'm sorry for everybody that was injured in this and that we're making light of it because there was 17 people injured, include 10 officers, which I have a hard time feeling about because they shouldn't be confiscating fireworks. It's America. We're allowed to own guns. Why are we taking away people's fireworks? I don't understand.
Because they cause fires.
That's true, but so do lots of stuff we're not confiscating. Yeah, right?
What I don't understand the logic is why we can now have fireworks in Vermont. Like, all of a sudden, it's like, hey, let's have fireworks in Vermont. It's like, don't get me wrong. I enjoy fireworks as much as the next guy. But what I don't enjoy is forest fires, kids. if it's me, yeah, I'm going to do it responsibly. But you get these assholes who come to Vermont who don't know what they're doing, and they launch them into the woods and they burn a whole side of a mountain down. And then they drive out on Monday. I fucked up. Big deal. You know.
Which is a good question. Are we still under a burn ban across the entire state? You guys know?
I don't know. We're launching fireworks.
Apparently. Yeah, but that's like
America.
But that's see, the difference though is that's government sanctioned fire play. Now, yeah. Now, if you're just a lowly citizen, I don't know if those same benefits extend to you. They're like, we have the fire department here, and it's like, yeah, but my tax dollars are paying for that. Why can't they pay for it when I have a fire at my house? I've been trying to burn some shit since the snow melted, and and all I keep hearing is, no, you can't have one. I'm like, dude, I live on the river. Like, we have a fire pit that sees, like, there's water around it. I don't understand.
Just look what these people do with a gender reveal kit, let alone give them a firework.
That's true. It's scary in California. Yeah, Jason's right. He says it only takes one redneck with fireworks for a forest fire. Uh, and then Jay Cogswell said, Sparkler the Bear says, launch more mortars, kids.
Yes, mortars.
Sparkler the Bear. Nick said, yeah, Nick, it has rained for the last week. I agree.
Is Sparkler the Bear the gay cousin of Smokey the Bear?
Well, he's certainly more fun. We know that.
Whoa, yeah.
Launch your mortars, kids.
Yeah.
Launch your mortars, kids.
Yeah, that's something I could get behind. I figured
He's smoking in all the ads. I'm Sparkler the Bear.
For safety,
Likes
I put my cigarette out on my shoe before I drop
Only
it in
you
the
can
trash.
start forest fires. Flicks the cigarette into the back of a pine forest.
Hey, it rained.
Yeah.
You're gonna hear some fireworks tonight. I guarantee you. This town's just like 4th of July every single night.
Oh, beautiful
Launch
view
'em.
of the city.
Launch them.
We'll move right into the next one unless you guys have anything left. Perry, you're good to run over a little bit on time. We're not keeping you.
No, I'm fine.
Okay. I just like check. I don't want to be rude and assume. We're gonna move right into a story about kitchen safety, and this one's a little brutal. But is anyone interested in some Iraqi wedding soup? Turns out that not. We tend to have like probably some of the, and Per, I'm sure you would agree, the food safety protocols and the health department stuff in America is like insane. Like over the top. Like sometimes it's scary.
It scares me to even speak about it on
Yes,
camera.
yeah. So please don't track us
I don't know
down.
nothing about no regulation. All right. I don't talk about no regulation.
So if you're from the Vermont Health Department and you like the show, just
We like you too.
pretend this
You're
didn't
a
happen.
narc.
We love you very much, especially the scales and measures guy. That guy is a whole lot of fun because he's so damn serious all the time that I'm always just trying to like throw in one-liners to get him to laugh, but he doesn't.
Never gonna happen.
No, and it's awful. At least the health inspection guy will crack a smile, but the scales and measures guys, it's just about the numbers, man. He doesn't give a shit.
They got a really good sense of humor when they say that famous line, "You failed."
Has anyone here ever worked in a kitchen that failed?
No, but one time
requirements, man.
One time I accidentally ate at the KFC in Rutland before it got shut down.
Well,
Gotta
hey,
claim the fame.
Man, that was like a viral TikTok video, right? I got that. You guys remember that? Somebody posted an online video of the kitchen in the KFC in Rutland, and literally it got shut down a week later. And 3 weeks later, they leveled the building.
yeah.
And then, GW, how long was the sign that said KFC coming back soon up?
It's still up.
It's been like 2-3 years, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it hasn't been that long.
Okay.
It's been quite a while, but it has. I want to say probably about a year.
Yeah.
And I miss my fried chicken.
It's
We
been
need
a
a
minute.
Popeyes, damn it.
Or a Chick-fil-A.
That too.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
Well, no,
Ooh,
sometimes
Chick-fil-A.
I want chicken on the Sunday.
It's what? Oh, closed on a Sunday? Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good point. And they're open every other day. And the customer service is phenomenal. Like, those people are so polite.
But, Chick-fil-A doesn't like gay people, so it's like, how good could your chicken possibly be?
Well, yeah, but
Maybe
it was
go
like,
in and be like,
it was like
homophobia.
it was like one CEO who hasn't worked there in like 5 years, I'm pretty sure.
I will say, even though they don't like homosexuals, their chicken is damn good.
They actively lobby against gay causes.
Oh, no shit. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they do. So I say, boo at Chick-fil-A.
Well,
Go to Popeyes. Go to White Castle. I don't need something. Someone's making chicken out there that's not homophobic.
well, if a gay couple start a Chick-fil-A comparable business, I'll shop
Call
there.
it
But
Dick-fil-A, and I will go there all day long. I don't even eat chicken, and I'll start eating that dick chicken.
Give me that dick fillet.
I want that dick fillet, baby.
Anyways, moving right to the topic. Anyone interested in Iraqi wedding soup? And this is a scary story, my friends.
Brutal.
I know GW shared this one with me, and he was like, "Is this too brutal to put on the show?" And I was like, "No, Pear will have a comment or two about kitchen safety and how you need to be careful." But yeah, a chef dies after falling into a boiling vat of soup in freak accident. Which is your first warning. Like, if you're boiling the soup, you're cooking it too hard. I'm just going to put that out there.
Well, what I wonder is, as you're doing this, are you literally saying, boil, and shove like, how are you boiling a soup large enough for it to be a cauldron in which you can literally become this? This is like something like a Grimm's Brother tale or something like that.
Jake said chick no gay.
I like that, Jake. Yeah, little chick no gay.
Jason saying only you, Colin. What the fuck about the dick fillet? You know, I'm for it. I'm cool.
No.
But they say an Iraqi chef tragically died last week after falling into a vat of soup, which left him severely scalded across large swaths of his body. The horrific accident occurred on June 15th while Isla Ismail. Again, I suck at pronunciation. I'm sorry if he didn't make it. So if the guy's family is watching the show, I apologize.
I apologize.
Let me just apologize for any joke going forward that we will do about this topic.
The sad part is he was 25. They say while stirring the soup, the 25-year-old father of three reportedly slipped and fell into the pot before tumbling to the floor, which is immediately how I knew this wasn't a story about America, because there's no millennials that are 25 that have three children. They either have 8 or they're never having any.
And then I'm making soup.
The cook was immediately rushed to a local hospital where medics spent several days trying to save his life. However, Issa died 5 days later after succumbing to third-degree burns all over 70% of his body. The chef's alarming death sent shockwaves across Iraqi media, with many mourners attributing the incident to lax safety standards inside the nation's restaurants and kitchens. Gulf News reported that the pot of soup was on the floor when the freak workplace accident occurred. Issa has been working as a cook for around 8 years prior to the tragedy, which means he started when he was 17. That checks out. The Sun reported the deceased cooked food at wedding parties, morning boards, and various ceremonies. And for 2 years, this is the crazy part here. And for 2 years, he's been working in 2 party halls for 25,000 diners per day. One of the late chef's relatives, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, told Ruda Media Network as reported in Middle East in 24.
Last credit they never put on it was he actually cooked for a funeral as well. He was doing that.
Well, what I really want to know is, did they serve the soup afterwards?
It did seem like a perfectly good waste of food.
This is a tragedy now until Disney picks up this film, right, and pays this family millions. It's going to be a guy who, in the film, he's going to be much older, right? He's not going to be 25 years old. He's going to be like an 80-something-year-old man making the thing. He makes the soup, but here's the interesting thing. When he hits the soup, he becomes a frog. And once he's a frog, yeah, well, no, he lives because it's magic soup, right? So he becomes a frog, and then he hops along. Boom! I mean, this is a film franchise right here, and Disney's going to make millions off of this. So, all's well that ends well.
Jason corrects me. He says, no, it was about the chef falling in the soup, and I've lost track so far. Nick said, was he a little person? I don't think I'm allowed to say that. Or was it soup for an army? It sounds like it was soup for an army, Nick.
Yeah.
Jason almost comments, beefy, which I would correct. No, it's more like, human-y. And Jake's kitchen boy, he said, hope he tasted it for seasoning on the way down.
Well, my one thought was that it needed more salt, so that's why he jumped in.
I want to admit that it's kind of like a fantasy of mine. I've always wanted a giant bowl of gravy that I could swim in.
Dude, I worked in a dining hall at a college, and I got to use one of those giant vats to make things in, and it was the perfect size for a one-person hot tub.
I don't even want to know where this story goes, but GW no longer has that job at said university. And I took a bath in the gravy, and it was fantastic.
I've never smelled so good.
I want to eat myself.
But I didn't think this was even that crazy, considering even here in America, we've got ovens and stuff that you can walk into. Right, like we have walk-in ovens for massive cracker production and things like that, and it doesn't seem like a pot of soup that you can fall in is that crazy. Parrot, what'd you think about this one?
It's a little hard to comprehend the falling in.
Well, it was only 70%, so I assume he was like leaning over and he went like kind of in. I agree. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a tough one to comprehend quite the physics of falling into a vat.
My first mental image when GW sent me the article, and it was like, after falling into a boiling vat of soup, all I could think was about, and I don't know if you guys ever had to read this book in high school or in the past, but The Jungle.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was all about like how awful meat production was back in like the 1910s or 20s. And that they talked about like giant grinders that people could fall in and stuff. And that was the first thing I thought of, was I was like, maybe he worked at like a soup production facility. But then I was like, they said it was a pot. You know what I mean? Which means it has to be small enough that at least like two people can move it, which means it wasn't that big a vat of soup.
Well, and part of the problem was it was a New York Post story, and it showed a bowl with a spoon in it.
Jake says Hickory swimming in gravy is a hilarious image. I agree, but also a delicious one that I would love to shoot for a calendar at some point.
I was going to say that's November right there. That warms me up just thinking about it.
Jason said, I know someone who took a leak into a batch of pasta. Brutal.
I know someone who took a leak in a batch of clam chowder.
Was his name Tyler?
No.
Okay.
I probably paid for one of those dishes, so I appreciate that, guys. That's really great.
Dude, the horror stories that we could go into about food prep.
Oh, it's awful. Yeah, I prefer not to because it's gross and I don't like to think about it. It bums me out.
Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do that around Halloween. Maybe for this year's Halloween show, we'll just do food horrors.
Yeah, and maybe when you don't have a guest on that's a food production manager. I'm sitting here silent, like, can we get away from this subject, please? Food safety.
There's a call from your attorney, like, I'm sorry. Yeah, we got to get away from this. All right.
Did you hear my phone beat?
Sorry, Pear.
Yeah. No, sorry to Pear's lawyer. We didn't mean to. But yeah, we'll move right into the next one at the behest. Jason said the horror stories I could tell, but that's for next episode, Jason. We'll get into that one maybe next week. Who knows? We're going to move into the final subject. We finally opened up a giant portal to hell. I mean, it's a pipeline leak. Come on, man. So basically this past week, for anybody who didn't know, this happened. We got over here, that is a giant portal to hell that opened up. But they're calling it an oil leak. What do you guys think? You think there's been any demons that have escaped this thing?
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty scary. That's another good image of it.
It looks less like a vagina than in the Lord of the Rings film.
Look at that top right one.
Top right?
Yeah,
that
top
one?
left. Yeah.
Oh, unfortunately, it's a tiny ass image. But yeah, there's a bunch of great photos of this thing that is just like absolutely. things like this kind of put it in perspective when you realize like that's a boat and it's
Now,
like four times the size of that boat.
I mean, gentlemen, please help me on this. What is the logic? They are going to try to put water onto the demon port hell to hell that seems to be burning in water. I'm sorry, maybe I'm a dumb man and some things are lost on me. The water is on fire, and their idea is to add more water. Is this correct?
See, now one of my thoughts when I saw that photo is I'm like, this is like the first time in the Biden presidency that I miss Trump. because this would have been a great time for him to be like, okay, guys, I've got an idea. What we're gonna do is we're gonna drop a bomb on it.
Absolutely, you took the words right out of my mouth.
We're gonna nuke the demon portal to hell. We're gonna blast those little red bastards right back to where they came from. It's gonna be awesome.
Work.
It's gonna be the best fucking 4th of July we've ever had.
So one of the things that happens in bombs, and especially like nuclear ones, are they will suck the oxygen out.
Yep.
And so that's the one thing that fires need is oxygen. So if we nuke the hole, we should be all set. I mean, the fallout, I mean, fuck it. but the immediate problem would stop.
You know that Trump would have done this too, because he was talking about nuking a hurricane, let alone some evil demon fire hole in the ocean. He was literally like, listen, if this hurricane doesn't head the other way, we may have to nuke it. And I'm just saying, hopefully this hurricane hears it, because we will bomb the shit out of that.
And my Sharpie map, it didn't follow.
Like Frodo dropping the key, I am gonna drop a bomb on this fire hole.
Jason said hell has not opened up. I would know. He also said no Biden. I'm not sure if that was no Biden or no Biden. Like I can't tell.
He's protesting the Biden campaign.
I'm like, what if Biden offered to drop a nuke on? I'd be for it too. I don't care.
Well, he just spent a lot of money on bombs. Maybe he will.
I just thought that was like something Trump would say. I thought it was funny. Turok, nuke that hole, says Jake, which is great. Yeah, nuke the hole.
I was actually thinking about Collen's comment, and I was sort of like, the fireboats work by sucking the water out from under them and blowing it back onto the fire. So they're like sucking the fire and blowing it back onto the fire.
Have like a steady stream of fire.
You got a better idea? You got a better idea? It's like, I don't just let the fucker burn. I don't know. I mean,
yeah, like, what do you do?
I don't have a better idea. You've set water on fire now. What stage of capitalistic hell is it when we've set the ocean on fire?
Nick said call the bomb squad. They would, man, but their truck got fucked up. What are they going to do?
This is like stage 7 capitalism. Like, you guys' oceans aren't on fire? You guys aren't working hard enough. You want to be poor? Set your oceans on fire.
I'm wondering if this is like this is like Michigan, but bigger. Like we're going for the Flint, Michigan vibe out in the Gulf. Is that what they were looking for?
BP happened and it just dumped an ungodly amount of oil into the Gulf of Mexico for days and days and days and days. And not one person on earth had one decent, reasonable idea on how to stop that. At one point, they were standing in front of Congress, and one guy goes, I don't know. Have we tried putting golf balls in it? Golf balls? You guys' best idea is golf balls? You are energy engineers, and the best you came up with is golf balls and human hair. Okay, this is going to be interesting.
Jake said send Randy Quaid down to it. Nick Waters says a new smoked fish flavor.
Well, Nick reminds me of the comment that I made before of You'll now see pre-cooked tuna, pre-cooked shrimp on sale.
Well, I've been sitting back waiting for you to repeat that again because I heard it. I heard it already, and I was waiting for you to pull it out.
And at the same time, Jacob comments in, different Jacob says seared tuna right from the water. Yum. Yeah, I vote we get some sesame seeds out to that thing, and we just sear up all the yellowfin.
The idea, it's like the roasting a s'more as the building burns. It's just like, hey, look at that. We got seared scallops. How you doing?
But yeah, it is a weird thing to put water on a fire in the water, huh? Which is why I think it is a portal to hell, as much as Jason disagrees with me, because I have to think that if we did accidentally open a portal to hell, this is exactly how the media would portray it.
I mean,
Right?
I feel like it's the same guy, Vinny, who like was stacking the fireworks in the NYPD place and like smoking a cigarette. I feel like it's the same guy who's like, hey, look, looks like a goddamn oil spill. Vinny, would you put the cigarette out? For God's sake. Holy shit.
I got a little too much pressure and I need to release it. You know what I'm saying?
He literally left the boat down there, went back to New Jersey, started collecting fireworks, and blew the truck up.
But literally, like I guess the one thing we have learned this year is after the colonial attack, we know how to shut down a pipeline pretty fast. Right? So I guess that's the good news. We just need to get Russia in on this thing with us. Yeah. And we'll get that shut down in no time, and then we'll just have a bunch of people wondering where the hell their gasoline is, but it'll be fine because they'll have pre-cooked shrimp.
Well, I'm wondering, is now the Gulf of Mexico like a nice hot tub temperature?
Like, did it heat the surrounding water?
Yeah, they're like, we just built the world's largest swimming pool heater. You're welcome. Okay. Yeah. This February, when the Gulf is 100 degrees, you'll thank us. All right.
I would go to Alabama to swim in the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah,
that's
I don't know why it's in Alabama. There's so many other states that I could have chose, and I said Alabama.
Jacob said fresh from the hellhole to table. Yeah, that's and Jason said, you guys should have the audience on a show. Funny that you mentioned that, Jason. We're actually going to open up next week's show to call-ins, which will be great. Not to call in, but to call.
That too.
Yes. Next week is going to be the Saucy Santa Summer Special, where we're the only show drunk enough that we have Santa on twice a year. So if you guys want to call into the show, shoot me a message this next week, and we'll make it happen. And you can ask Santa or any of the co-hosts any question you'd like, assuming it doesn't get us booted off YouTube. But that would be counterproductive. So that's cool. Collen's already calling. Collen's getting called out by Nick already. Collen won't show.
Yeah, I won't be on that show. So if you have any questions you want to ask me, you can ask me that now. I'll make sure Santa hears your request. Make sure you're a good boy, all right?
But yeah, this is an interesting one. I hope it doesn't affect the. I don't know. Like, do you guys think it's better to have a wild like oil leak that's not lit, where it's just coating the ocean, or do you think it's better to have it just burn off right off the bat?
I would assume that it's better not to have either.
Well, no, yes, but you don't get that option in Would You Rather. You know, it's not just like, yeah, I would abstain. That's
yeah. Would you rather freeze to death or burn alive? You can't be like, well, neither.
Yeah, I'd rather sleep in.
I don't know. The thing is, what's kind of strange is even crude oil, as terrible as it is for the ecosystem, it is kind of from the earth, and it does actually have a remarkable ability to evaporate and for the earth to take it back. This, I don't know what type of level of oxygen like requirement is for like water to be on fire. So like there are like the dead zones or dead pockets of oxygen in water. So I don't know. This is I've never seen something like this before. You know? Thank you, capitalism.
I would say I would rather have it on fire so I don't have to watch those fucking Dawn soap commercials. Oh,
Jesus.
we saved
Yeah.
a bunch of baby birds in the
Yeah.
Gulf.
Yeah, Don, what do you do when the ocean's on fire, huh? What do
Yeah.
you do then, Don? You got
Yeah,
any brilliant ideas of that when it's not a duck, when it's the ocean on fire?
I'm going to squirt a whole bunch of soap and see if that helps.
Yeah. It's not a baby duck, Don.
Fair, what do you think? You think it's better to be on fire or not?
I mean, in all honesty, much better on fire. It just looks way cooler.
That's a very good point. I appreciate aesthetics as much as the next guy.
Black sludge, or you've got really cool fire and the neat sunset that's happening over it and stuff.
Yeah, stuff that looks like that.
Yeah.
You know, Peter Jackson saw this and he was like, I spent how much money making that damn hole? I gotta just film that thing.
Jason said, I'm pretty sure we don't want to call in. How about video? Yes, that is actually the option. Call-ins next week will be straight through our streaming service. So you can hop on just like a guest and we'll bring people on. But no, we are talking about doing a audience member participation show at some point. We just got to figure out the format and figure out how that works. And I'm moving, so I've been really busy and haven't had much time. Not to mention, it was fucking 4th of July, and there's a bunch of Joeys up. There is a ton of non-Vermont people here. People keep saying, hey, Vermont's 80% vaccination rate. And I'm like, yeah, but we're also at 400% population right now. So, like, what's the actual percentage?
Yeah, that was 82% before New Jersey came here.
Yeah, who knows? I'm pretty sure even Pierre put up a post that said, hey, did New Jersey kick everybody out? Because I'm wondering why they're all here. But we've ran a bit over. Perry, this has been a great time. So sorry if we've touched on some subjects that were a little touchy at times, but we tried to.
Well, it was like all steered towards food.
Well, I know. I'm sorry. I try to pick topics that relate to our guests, and sometimes it doesn't. It backfires.
It was great.
Yes, backfired. right there. Jason said, food. He said, or have a special with us on. Yes, we're working on it. I'm working on figuring it out. I'm sorry, Jason. I still love you. Nick said, good show as always. Thank you, Nick. Jake, everybody that came out, thank you guys. Perry, thank you for being here, brother. I really appreciate it. And
thanks for having me. It was awesome.
Oh, it was cool. We'll have to try this again in the future at some point. Yeah, we'll pick a good time and go for it.
Sounds like
any plugs before we get on out of here, Perry? You want to plug the website? Any upcoming new releases on products?
Yeah, new release this week. Smoked lobster dip.
Woo! Not from the Gulf. Not Gulf lobsters, guys. Don't worry. These are Maine lobster.
You got
it. So as far from the Gulf as we can get in North America.
Yep. And that just came out and it's doing well. So check it out, look for it, ask for it.
Yes. Awesome. It's good. It is pearsmoke.com.
Yep.
As is on the overlay on the bottom. I'm awful at this. Way down there on the bottom of the screen is just go there and you can learn more about Pear and all of his amazing products. And there's a damn good line of them. Also, all the stores that carry them around. Is it all Vermont Pear, or are you in any other states yet?
I was going to say, don't ask me that either. No, I'm in New Hampshire.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. But thank you for being on. Collen, show on Saturday. Greenwich Comedy Club.
So show this Saturday night, New York City. Tickets are available online. Check out Woolen Comedy Presents. That's a Facebook page that is we're advertising the New York shows through. And the following Saturday in Vermont, July 17th, we have a great show at the Mill. Matt Vita's going to be there. Burlesque performance from Green Mountain Burlesque. So shows next to Saturday, New York City this Saturday the 10th, Vermont the 17th. And hope to see you guys all there.
Nice. Logan said, great show. Love you all. And just a quick look. This is Pear's beautiful website right here at pearsmoke.com. Great photos. A little backstory and all the places where you can find it, as well as the ability to, can you order online, Pear?
No, you can call me, and we've got so much business with wholesale outlets that's sort of like a menu, and you can give me a ring.
Okay, fair enough. Directly contact.
Yep.
A business local enough that you can contact the owner yourself. That's pretty awesome.
We do it.
And you do a great job. So thank you. G-Dubs?
Once again, I want to plug Collen's show at the Greenwich Comedy Club this Saturday, New York City. Fuck yeah, be there. I'm excited to be there. Foley Kills the Podcast, episode 9 is out.
Episode 10 on Monday.
Episode 10 on Monday.
Although
We get to hear how the show went.
Someday I'm going to say that. It's going to be wrong, and I'm going to feel awful. Jason just said, great show. Thank you, Jason. Logie said, great show. Love you all. Thank you guys for everybody that came out. Again, Collen, GW, thank you for being here. I love you, boys. And Pear, thanks for being here. It's always awesome to see you. And I'm glad we got to connect like this. It was a lot of fun.
It was great. Thanks so much for having me, you guys.
Not a problem. And that's it for episode 10 of the Drunken Under Quarantine show. Next week, we'll be back with the Saucy Santa Summer Special. So if you guys want to call in, shoot us a message on probably on Facebook over the next week, and we'll get it lined up where you can call in, ask Santa your questions. He's going to be on vacation for the next couple months before he starts getting ready for Christmas. And we wanted to get his attention because, normal time is right before his go time, where he's pretty distracted and he's trying to drink away the problems that he has with Mrs. Claus. So we thought it'd be good to catch him in the mid season of his off time, and and see if he's a little more positive about the elves and their production. There's no elf trafficking. That's just a friendly reminder to all of you out there that does not happen. But that's pretty much it for this one. I, of course, am Hickory the Drunken Underwhelming. This is the Drunken Under Quarantine show, presented to you by the Woolen Comedy Club. And we will see you all next week at 8. I am Hickory the Drunken Underwhelming. I implore you all to stay safe, stay drunk, stay underwhelming. Most importantly, in these trying times, stay sane. And, really just try not to kill your neighbors, guys. That's it. And try not to open any portals to hell, because we already have one. Cheers.
And so I didn't get a chance to take my pants off.